Hey, what's up? Jayson here. I'm going to cover 5 signs that you are likely a codependent, and I'm going to give you 4 recovery tips that you can start immediately. Okay, and at the end of this video or near the end, I'm going to draw a picture that I want you to etch into your memory forever about what the codependent looks like versus what a mutual relationship looks like. Okay, so make sure to stay tuned for that. All right, the first sign is that you help others first, sometimes at the expense of yourself and your own needs, right? Which means you overfunction in relationships. You do all or most of the emotional labor. That means you're the feeler in the relationship. You struggle to prioritize your own self-care and giving to yourself. You're such a giver. You're giving to everybody but you. The oxygen mask goes on you last. All right, so this is the first sign, is you just help others first at the detriment of your own needs and yourself and your well-being, really, okay? And it's important to remember this pattern got set up in your childhood. Usually you grow up with an alcoholic parent or a depressed parent or someone who was, not functioning very well. And you decided to be a good little boy and girl and go help. And that sort of became how you got value in the world. Okay, number 2, second sign that you are likely on the codependent spectrum is you believe in the other person's potential rather than their daily actions. Repeat, you believe in the other person or other people's potential rather than their day in, day out behavior. Oftentimes, codependent people find themselves in relationships where the other person has so much potential and they say things like, yeah, but they're, just around the next corner, if they would just get sober, or if they would just figure this thing out, or if they would just get this job, or if they would just believe in themselves more. And it's all the same thing. Okay, you see their potential, which is cool. Okay, I love that about you. But they don't follow through on their potential, and they probably never will. Which leads to my next sign that you're a codependent, but I'm going to get to that in a second, okay? So stop it. Stop believing in people's potential. It's hurting you, actually, and it hurts them. Because when you believe in someone's potential and they continue to not live up to it, not only do you start resenting them and judging them because you get tired of being a cheerleader for decades, but they start judging themselves and they feel shame that they can't live up to who you see them as. And they feel worse. So I just don't recommend this, okay? You, in here, you believe that if they would change, your relationship would improve. Like, bing, that would be finally the thing that makes this relationship work. And this just becomes a pattern that just gets played out like a broken record for years. It's really sad, okay? Third sign, as a kid, you grew up in a family with a sick sibling or parent. There was some illness, there was some tragedy, there was some challenge going on in your family of origin, and you became the good little helper to try to alleviate stress, to try to not get rejected or abandoned, to try to avoid getting more abuse or hurt or more trauma. Kids are incredibly smart and sophisticated and resilient, and they'll find their way to minimize impact in the family system and to help, to be of service in some way. And that creates a lifelong pattern for most helpers that they tend to attract, quote, sick people or underfunctioning people because it keeps them doing their strategy and doing their role. All right. And if you've come to this video by now, hopefully you see that you're exhausted and you're tired of your pattern. It's frustrating, right? The fourth sign is you tend to, as an adult, choose a helping profession of some kind. You're a doctor, you're a nurse, you're a therapist, you're a psychiatrist, you're a psychologist, you're a counselor, you're a coach, you're a healer, you're an acupuncturist, you're a massage therapist, you're a firefighter, you're a cop. All of these are service-oriented professions where you feel you get a lot of value by helping other people. I see this time and time again. And we have people come into our coaching training program, and every single one of them is a helper and has codependent tendencies because codependent people can make really good doctors, therapists, nurses, firefighters, psychologists, etc., if they actually develop the skill of helping, because a lot of codependent people get stuck in rescuing, enabling, fixing, giving advice, trying to be the hero. That's not what a good therapist or coach does. And we teach how to do that more effectively in our coaching training. Okay, if you're ever interested in that, you can go to relationshipschool.com/RCT, and you can apply if you want to pursue that kind of career. So look around in your life, and chances are you're some kind of helping-based profession person, all right? Okay, and the fifth sign, and then I'm going to draw this picture, and we'll talk about the 4 things you can do to change this pattern of yours, all right? The fifth sign is that you simply struggle to accept people as they are. And what I mean is, you remember the potential thing? You keep believing they're someone they're not based on their actions. So if you just accepted, like, look, I'm with X person, this person, they have an addiction, they have depression, they struggle immensely. And what if they never, ever change? Ever. And consider that they aren't ever, ever, ever going to change. What then? Well, what this allows you to do is when you finally accept people as they are, they feel loved as they are. They feel accepted as they are. And you get to decide, do I want to put up with this bullshit anymore? Given that they're never going to change, and this is who I'm with, or this is my family member, or this is X person, they're never ever going to change. Do you still want to be working as hard as you are to try to make them better? I don't think so. Okay, so this gets into the 4 tips for your recovery here. And it's essential that you get the eye on the ball, to use a sports metaphor, and the ball is yourself. The first one is accept that this is who they are and stop trying to change them, because I think that will liberate you from your pattern of trying to help them, fix them, change them, enable them, whatever, right? It gets you out of your role, all right? So accept this person as they are. And this is very hard to do because you see the potential. You're going to have to turn that potential switch off, and you're going to have to turn the reality switch on, which is day in, day out, this is who they are. Every day for years, wow, they haven't changed hardly at all. It's sobering. Yeah. Okay, let's draw this picture, and then we'll go over the other 3, just because I want to make sure we cover this. Okay, so watch me here. You're going to see a picture that I want this etched in your memory for good. Okay, and the reason I'm saying this is because codependent people tend to not see themselves very clearly. Let's use a bigger color here. All right. So here is a codependent relationship. Okay. Let's say this person is kind of down and out. They're sitting down, cross-legged, looking pretty unhappy. They're really struggling, right, in their life. You are this happy helper, and you help them. And the direction goes one way. All your resources, or most of your resources, are going toward them. They don't give back to you. They do this. They're kind of obsessed with their own problems and their own struggle. They're actually not that interested in you. Okay, so memorize this image and this next image. Okay, this one's very important. This is what a mutual relationship looks like. Okay, you're both standing up, right? You both have issues and challenges, of course, like we all do. But the energy flows like a figure 8, okay, on its side. This is called a mutual relationship. And both people are fulfilled here because the energy goes both ways. It's equal, it's equitous, it's fair, it's mutually beneficial. This is what it's all about, folks, okay? So please etch that one into your memory as well. And a couple other things you can do while we're talking about it here. that you can help yourself get recovered, sober, or empowered here. Okay, we talked about accept them as they are. Accept that you're wired to overgive. Accept that you're wired to overgive, and it might be a lifelong journey to change that. You really think, and sometimes, look, we can be very fulfilled giving to a nonprofit or giving to our kids, and it kind of feels one-directional, and it feels good. It's fulfilling. But in an equal, mutual, eye-level partnership, not good. Okay, you do not want to be in relationships where you give to them, but they don't give to you. Absolutely not, right? Stop seeing that as somehow attractive. Third thing that you can do to help in terms of solutions, okay, in your recovery here, is remember that, and this just helps you stay sober, remember that you think, for whatever reason, that first picture I drew, you think an unfair relationship is a good relationship. You, for some reason, think this is good for you. It's not. It's not good at all. Okay, so remember, like, oh, right, I think unfairness equals a relationship. It does not. Just because you grew up in a family where you did all the work for your family doesn't mean you have to keep doing it in a partnership. No freaking way. Okay? All right, and fourth is the obvious one. Get help, please. Hire a coach, hire a therapist, read books, read Melody Beattie's book, Codependent No More. Watch other videos here on YouTube. Like, put the attention on yourself. Instead of making your partner your project, make yourself your project. All right? I'm into personal growth and development. I think it's really fun and sexy and cool. My wife and I share this value. We love the psychology of human beings. I love to, quote, work on myself. Be that person. Start and never stop working on yourself. Don't work on other people or a partner. And if you are working on, quote, other people, you're working to empower them because they want your help and they're paying you. And you're a coach or a therapist or a doctor or someone like that. Okay? All right. So hopefully these signs of codependency have been helpful, and some of the recovery tips. All right. And again, I think those images are going to really help you. Remember, figure 8 on its side is the energies flowing back and forth between two empowered, mutually responsible adults. That's the kind of relationship you're after. Okay. Leave a comment if this video was helpful, and please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and we'll see you on the flip side.